So there's this Mario game that's kind of hit the streets recently. Everyone seems to be talking about it. The people who are into Mario games are certainly paying attention to it. It's a high demand kind of Mario game. Everyone's trying to pay attention to, try to get their hands on. Everyone's trying that out. There's like something fun they want to do, and that's just how it seems to be. Everyone's talking about this new special Mario game, right? Everyone is talking about this Mario game. So we're going to play the first one instead. We're just going to play the first one instead. But we're going to be finally beating the first game. That is the point of why we are here today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us finally to finish Super Mario Bros. For the NES. So, I have two major stories that I wanted to discuss this go around before we completely are done with this game. I did have some stories I wanted to share about my experience with this game, which I had somehow or another never talked about until now, or at least I tried to talk about it in the last live stream we did, but I just never got around to really discussing it. My bad. Sometimes I have to pay attention on what's happening in the game and not what I'm saying, which is actually quite often, at least on these live streams. So anyway, here begins story number 1. So, Super Mario Bros. I'd say is probably... It's hard to tell. It's like one of those things like, there are some people who know. Maybe it's because I don't envision myself as a gamer too much, or because I've never really been that passionate about it. Like, I know what the first album I really listened to is. I know what I think I know what the first movie I saw was, but, it's sort of those things, like, I don't really remember too hefty about this topic, but I'm at least 98% sure that the first video game I ever played was Super Mario Bros., the original, and I actually played a special port of this game, which was the arcade versus version. So where I grew up, there used to be a Pizza Hut, which still exists, but it's a completely different kind of establishment than what it once was in its glory days, back when people still went outside for their evening. Essentially, they had in there, as a typical Pizza Hut, you'd go in there, you'd get pizza, as opposed to getting tacos. Because I know the Pizza Hut taco is what everyone goes to Pizza Hut for these days. But back in the olden days, we used to go to Pizza Hut for, pizza. But aside from that, the two big entertainment things they had there was they had a jukebox, which I loved with all my heart and soul. It had a Paul McCartney Greatest Hits on it that I used to pretty much play the entire album of. I just get a bunch of quarters and play everything off that Greatest Hits record. And the other thing they had was an arcade machine with Super Mario Bros. Versus on it, which was, as some of you more textpert gamers out there might know, is essentially a port of Super Mario Bros., but with with a playable Luigi, and just, I think, maybe slightly harder levels, but it was pretty much the arcade version of this game. And it was my first real, I'd say, introduction into... no, I am not. Also, I am not using the cheat where I get 30 lives. I'm just... Well, for one thing, the 30 lives cheat is Contra. That was the Konami code. What I'm doing, honestly, is I'm just using the kind of continue thing where I start from the start of whatever world I die on, which is why we'll probably be seeing a lot of World 8 today. Well, that's all we're going to be seeing, because it's the last world of the game. But... Anyway, story time. Where was I in story time? Okay, so basically the Pizza Hut had a Super Mario Bros. Versus arcade cabinet there. And that was pretty much my introduction to video games. It's probably what got me into Mario at such a young age anyway. So, that's sort of... Well, I was gonna I was gonna half-heartedly try to put a moral into that story, but I don't know what the lesson is. I don't know. Okay, and here's the thing too, right? So the continue code would be you hit A and B at the game over screen, and then you hit one player game, and that's supposed to get you back to 8 worlds. But for some reason, either the ROM I'm playing or the controller I'm using, I don't know, it doesn't work properly. So I'm doing it this method. No, I buggered it up and I hit the wrong button again. Oops, oh well. Well, that's how it goes. I shouldn't have tried to explain it, and that got me back here. So we're seeing World 1 again, kids, but hopefully not for too long a time. We're just going to try to cheese it. We're going to try to cheese-mo this. So, basically, the point of my first story was that there was no point. It had no moral. I thought there was going to be one that I could use to nice and tidy up the story at the end of it, and then I realized afterwards that there was no real moral to it. It was just that was the first time I played Mario Bros. Was at an arcade. Or not even at an arcade, at a Pizza Hut. But, you know, hey, everyone has their introduction to games, and maybe that's the moral of the story, that you never know what's going to get you into video games. Sometimes it's you play Call of Duty on your brother's Xbox, and sometimes it's you're at a Pizza Hut, and you don't have enough quarters for the jukebox, but you do for the Mario vs. arcade machine. And that's maybe the lesson, I guess. Possibly. Who knows for certain? No one can really say. Anyway, that's story number 1. Story number 2, and considering how I do believe Nick is watching the stream, or someone is at least, because that comment was from the channel that we're on, so I definitely didn't ask myself that question. So, basically, I'm going to tell the story of how one of the first playthroughs that the Serenade of Caffeine crew ever recorded was this game. Now, I think by now people know that before I had the gaming weekend and before Nick had Serenade of Caffeine, there was a Let's Play show we did collaboratively called The Lazy Players, and it ended poorly, blah-de-blah-de-blah. I'm sick of telling that story. But before that even, when we were all kind of trying to figure out what we wanted to do to break into the YouTube game, Nick and Lucas from also Serenade of Caffeine, they were doing their own little solo Let's Plays of things like Skyrim and, well, I think that was basically it. Twilight Princess, I guess, was the other one. And we were trying to come up with ideas for, okay, well, what can we do to set us apart from the other Let's Players? Because I think even in 2011, the Let's Play market was pretty oversaturated, and we kind of knew we needed to do something to set us apart from the rest of the crowd. And I don't know if it was my idea or Nick's. I want to say it was Nick's idea, because it sounds more like a him idea than mine. But he said, we're going to do this thing called Challenge Accepted, and basically what it's going to be is we're going to do a show where basically it was going to be Nick would do these like little video game challenges, like try to beat this and whatever, you know, like do some special thing. And the point of the show was going to be seeing if he could accomplish that. And that was the point of the show. And the first episode we taped was going to be this game. And the point of this show was that Nick was going to try to beat this game in 30 minutes. Because he, like me, I don't think, maybe he has now, I don't know, but at the time, he hadn't beaten this game. And the idea was that, okay, well, I'm going to spend 30 minutes, and we're going to, the challenge is going to be that I have to beat this game in 30 minutes, right? And the setup of the show was, I bought a green screen for my first video, which exists out there in the YouTube sphere, and I hate it, but I had a green screen. I didn't know how to use it, but I had it. And what we did was we pretty much filmed two things. We had a capture card of Nick's that recorded decently good game footage, not superb. Why did I bugger around with trying to jump on the Buzzy Beetle? But it wasn't like superb game audio, and the mic on it was such that he was recording audio from like sort of the external mic of his laptop and not really just the game audio. We didn't have money yet for like decent microphones like the one I have right now. So it was like the game footage audio was not fantastic anyway and was all heavily distorted and compressed. That was just dumb maneuvers on my part. And also, we tried to film it where there would be live action sort of cutaway. You know how people here on Twitch do that thing where they have like a blue screen or a green screen and they pretty much composite themselves into the game? So it's not just like a matter of here's face cam and us reacting to the game. It's a whole bit about, oh yeah, you know, I'm in the game somehow. We were going to try to do something along those lines. And I think I was the one editing it, maybe. I sent Nick a composite video. Maybe I've got this memory wrong, but somehow or another, we got it into the post-production stage, and then I think it just was like one of those things where we weren't happy with the product, and it didn't go out. But you could almost consider that, like, and the tape is now long, long lost. Like, a lot of the early footage from before we started doing this semi-professionally. I mean, it's still a hobby. We're not doing this as our livelihood or anything. But a lot of the footage from, like, our first year as creators is now wiped. And so the footage of that playthrough doesn't exist anymore. But the memory lingers on. And that is the moral of this story. That, essentially, this could have been a playthrough done many, many moons ago. Back when, you know, I would do things that were stupid, but not as stupid as just jumping into the pit. Hit the right button. Okay, good. It's P. I have to remember that the load state is P, and the save state is I. I wish I could map it to just one of my shoulder buttons on my controller, but alas, the NES ROM doesn't really allow for that. So, what can you do? So, anyway, I guess I should probably, now that the two big stories I wanted to discuss on this week's episode of the Streaming Sundays, I guess now that I've told those stories, I should probably also relay... I don't know. Should I... Oh, yeah, I should. For some reason, I forgot what I was going to discuss and thought it was scandalous. And then I realized that what I was going to discuss wasn't scandalous at all, and I could talk about it. So, I want to explain why there was no Streaming Sunday last week. Because so far, the erratic nature of this show is not really what I've been... It's not something I'm happy with, I guess is what the phrase would be. Like, I do want this show to be kind of a regular thing. You know, I'm using it as a tool to sort of wind down and also tape things that I don't think would make for fantastic gaming weekend playthroughs. But, like, they exist and they're out there, so they're just like time fillers. Like, the first episode of this playthrough came out today. It's a time filler for what's going to be the next big playthrough on the channel. But, you know, it's a good clearinghouse ground, this show. But I've been pretty erratic of when it happens. Like, it started off every week, and then suddenly it went, like, every 2 weeks. And I want to discuss why that happened. So, the first time I missed the deadline on this show... it was either, I'm trying to remember, but it was either a matter of I just wasn't feeling up to it. I was kind of sick and also like in a sort of down state of mood, and just it wasn't right. Something was not correct, and I didn't want to potentially do a live stream and be expected to be haha funny when I just wasn't feeling it, and I kind of wanted to have the space to not be on like I always have to, like I feel I have to be when I'm taping you know, I wanted the freedom to be able to just sort of go, yep, I don't have to be entertaining tonight. Oh. So that was why I missed the first week of this. The second time was this time last weekend was a very busy day for the channel. Essentially, me, Nick, Rob, Elysia, and John all got together for the first time in a long, long while. And we did like a sort of photo session kind of thing just to get more updated pictures of all of us, because I think a lot of the pics, both individually and together, that are roaming around the internet for alike of each of us are pretty old. Like, they're sort of 2 or 3 years ago. And yeah, I just felt we needed to update ourselves a little bit and get a more sort of like up-to-date account of who we are and what our look is and all those things. Because I mean, that's one of the things, like, it's sort of one of those things. I think people discount the fact that with YouTube, even the more like robust channels, normally I think people assume this of the big names, but even the smaller ones, there's such a thing as branding, and there's such a thing as marketing, and you need to have good branding and marketing if you're going to make it big in anything show business, not just YouTube or television or movies. You have to have that skill of knowing who you're catering to and who your crowd is. And so that's something I've picked up after many years of studying media in college, and I was like, okay, well, we need to kind of get some better branding than just the non-existent kind we have right now. And in that scenario, I was like, okay, well, we'll do a photo session. And then also, it was around the time of John's 23rd birthday. It was a week after. He turned 23 2 weeks ago. And so we wanted to celebrate that, and Nick wanted to film a short film that I'm assuming will be coming out on the channel at some point in the near future. But essentially, we spent the whole of the Saturday just hanging out. I guess it's 6 of us, isn't it? 6 or 5, but it was like the whole channel pretty much got together, and we were just hanging out and having a fun time. And it ended up with a giant party at the end of the day. At the end of which, pretty much me and John were gone. We'd obliterated ourselves. I've talked about this on the show before, the show proper. But I have my own special cocktail, which I've been told by people who drink more than me is a pretty excessive drink. I wouldn't know myself, as I'm not a heavy drinker. But I guess my special cocktail is just like insane amounts of booze, and I don't even know it. So for as much as I say, oh, I don't drink, if I don't drink, well, at least I'm going hardcore when I do. That's a lesson that shouldn't be learnt. But anyway, morals. What are the morals? Okay, so essentially, we spent the day just sort of hanging out and chilling, and by the end of the evening, it was like me, John, and Nick, and John and I were just like buzzed is not even the right word. We were just like full-blown drunk, not blackout. At least I wasn't. Maybe John was, but like we were pretty gone, and we were up all night. And when I say all night, I mean we didn't go to bed. By the time John and I tried to go to sleep, the sun was out. So it was like, you know, when we finally resurfaced from our, you know, sort of hedonistic haze, I guess is what you would call it. It was pretty much like John, maybe to a different degree, but I certainly was like real hungover, and I couldn't deliver this, you know, this sort of like entertainment bit. I just couldn't really do it in an effective way. I had to kind of recover. So the reason why the lesson here of this roundabout story, folks, is that the reason why there was no streaming Sunday last week was because I was too hungover to do it. And that seems wrong to maybe some of you. Maybe that seems irresponsible. I think it's a part of life, you know? I just think, hey man, I'm in my early 20s. I'm young. I'm now free from school. I got a little bit of money to celebrate with. You know, sometimes you just want to have fun, and that's what we did last weekend, and it was fun o'clock. And we probably will do that again sometime, and, you know, whether or not the streaming Sunday gets affected by that is whether or not the streaming Sunday gets affected by that. I probably should be more responsible with my duties that I set for myself, but I also kind of like enjoying myself sometimes, you know? And it was good for me, too, that we did that party, because I'd spent most of the week before that bored out of my skull, sitting in essentially what is a haunted mansion of a house, completely on my lonesome, doing a little bit of editing, doing like a little bit of recording, but not really social. And the thing is, you need to be able to balance that out. Like, as everyone has said, the ho 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 ho. I'm impressed with myself. That was skillful failure. It wasn't just a matter of I jumped from an easy walk down to my death. No, that wasn't it. What was impressive was that I did that backwards. I jumped backwards into my own death and doom. That is skillful, determined failure. You don't see that too often, and I think it's worthy of just a tiny hint of praise. You know, sometimes you gotta know who you're bargaining with. You gotta know who's on the other end of that sale. You gotta know who's picking up the truck at the end of the day, so you and Jennifer can ride out onto the lake before Doc Brown calls you up and sends you back to 1955. That's the plot of Back to the Future 1. I saw it a couple of days ago. What can I say? Stranger Things 3 triggered me, because they played clips of that movie in that season. I liked Stranger Things 3. I thought it wasn't as good as Stranger Things 2. I've never really talked about that show before, like and not because I'm ashamed of me watching it. It's a popular show, but I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't try to do reviews of movies and TV shows when I'm commentating on things, because A, the Piranha Plant will phase right through me, but not the Koopa Troopa. I don't know how that works. But also, I mean, let's be real here. What you are hearing right now is me speaking without a brain. The throat is moving. I've said this like a million times now, but that's why the commentary is repetitious. It's the brain not on and triggering all the switches. But the main lesson here is that if I'm going to review a piece of media, I want to be clear-headed about it. I want to be able to like soak it in and really think on it. I don't want to be, incoherent when I'm trying to be smart. Mind you, not a lot of people try to be incoherent and smart at the same time. It doesn't really work that way. You're normally either one or the other, though I'm certain people have instances where that's not the case. But that's basically the whole thing, is that you want to try to be both. And what I'm saying there is that I just never talked about the fact that over the past couple weeks I've been watching Stranger Things, because I needed something to watch on TV, and it was there, and it's okay. It's a good show. I just didn't have the time or the space to review it, and now I do. And I will, I'll just say it was a good show. I wasn't too big into the ending of the third season. I thought the second season ending kind of was a bit tied here, but that's just me. I keep doing that. Why do I bother with the Koopa Troopas? If I can avoid them, if I can game the system and just not have them be there, then I should be doing that, right? I should just not provoke that which I can't control, because that's like what's causing me to trip up now, is that I'm running loose on a wire here. There's a wire-shaped hole in the heart, and it's clogging the artery, and it doesn't know where it wants to go. So instead, it's just there, and it's habitating and formulating all of its plans, and that is what it's doing. And someone has to try to figure it out. I can't do it for you. you're going to have to look inwards and say to yourself, is this really what we want to show to our children in 20 years? And I don't think it is, but it's what we will do. And I don't mean Stranger Things, I mean kind of this tape. Now am I saying that should I ever be able to have a family and maybe potentially try to father kids that I would show them these tapes? No, because I would never want them to see this, ever. Would you want your kids to see your failures as an adolescent? It's easy to tell them the stories like they're long-lost fables, so that way they don't believe them, and then they can grow up thinking that you were flawless, but you don't want them to see evidence of you failing. That's against the plan. It's against the grain. You don't want that. You don't want them to know that you're a muck-up and a pluck-up. You just want them to know that sometimes you can be a cuck-up. And that's all that it's about. You know what I'm saying? I don't. That's okay, though. I'm doing a lot of backwards jumping today, and I don't really know why I'm doing a lot of backwards jumping, but I'm doing a lot of backwards jumping. So... Mantra. Oh! Ah, my. That was 26 minutes of, zero breathing. And, maybe that's actually a good thing, because unlike the last episodes where I've been getting a bit heated. I've been getting a little bit angry. I've been getting a little bit steamed. A little bit steam-pressed when things don't go my way. And when I fail as poorly as I've been failing so far. I've been getting a little bit steam-pressed at it. And, I just don't think that's healthy. You know what I mean? I don't think it's healthy for me to be so angry. Because why live your life in such rage and fury? That's not good for your spleen. You just don't want that. You don't need it. Life is worth more than one's ability at beating games that are 11 years older than oneself. The people have the power to change the world. Yes, they do. And that's what it's all about. It's about people uniting together as one commonality to say what's on their mind. Here's what's on my mind. I'd like to move further beyond World 8.1. That's what's hot take on my mind right now. I would like to move further than this point. And I have not been doing that, and I'm kind of disappointed. But we're in for the long haul here. I think we can safely say that this is going to be one of the longer episodes of the Streaming Sunday, just because we're finishing this game today. No matter what happens, we're finishing this game today. And I had maybe some intentions of maybe going out later, seeing some humans, not streaming to an invisible crowd of no one. But, I gotta get that juicy content out there. And so instead of, going out and having life experiences which could benefit me as a human being and make me less lonely, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna try to finish this game. That's what it's gonna be, and that's how it's gonna play. And you just gotta accept that. If you got a problem with it, watch someone else. I know I'm getting needlessly aggressive with the audience, but I don't care. I can't live my life based off of what you want me to do. You gotta make up your own mind. You want to be happy? You want to succeed? You gotta live for you. And I'm not doing that. I'm living for others. But I'm not living for them either. I live for me. And, I would hope that maybe that got me closer to a 1-up. I don't think it did. I think that this is just prolonging an inevitable byproduct of civilization wherein I just am not gonna make it, but I have to. So we're gonna be here for as long as it takes. As long as it takes. That's as long as it takes. It's as long as it takes. We're gonna be here. We're gonna do this, and you're gonna sit down. You're gonna like it. You're gonna not whine to me about your problems and what happened, how Charlotte treated you at the office. I don't care. Charlotte ain't my wife, and neither are you. So why are you telling me about what Charlotte said at the office? That's what it is. It's what it has to be. All the time. It's every day. Not finishing that reference. And because it wasn't a reference I even wanted to make, I don't... No. Well, sometimes he thinks he's going to be able to do this as Fire Mario, and he's wrong. He's just wrong. He knows not his failures. Or he does know them, but he knows not how to improve upon them. All he can do is the same. Whoa, grab goat ghoul garshk. Gizzard, lizard, wizard, mizzard. Anything here? Okay, just don't. See, the thing is that I don't even think that would have helped me anyway. What would that have helped with? Because I'm still gonna have to do expert jumping, expert jumping. Especially at the end here, where it turns into the, like, 4 pillars of madness. So, like, it's not like that really changed anything if I don't get the invisibility star. Though it's not invisibility, it's invincibility. God almighty, help you. I need a drink. I need a drink before we continue. That's not gonna help my throat. That's not gonna help my throat at all. Hey, ho, what you gonna do? Hey, you, what you gonna do? Hey, oh, go to the jam and oh, now you're here. Okay, well, you know what? I'm letting it slide. I'm letting it go. It just occurs to me that maybe there was... Okay, never mind. I don't know what occurred to me. Something hit me. Something struck me late in the night. It was a boulder. It came from the ceiling. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. That's what it did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I mean? You know what I say? You know what I do? And the thing is, you gotta run off that pipe. You gotta run off that pipe. You just gotta run off of it, because if you don't have the... You can't do that little delicate jump. Or jump. Jim joms. You can't do those delicate jim joms, because if you do it that way, you won't have enough moom to get to the other edge of the side. So... Instead, you gotta get polygonal with everything, and you gotta look into the obtuse. The obtuse describes the new tooth, but not the old tooth. And the mongoose is on the bridge. It flies away. Anyway, if I could keep this for maybe more than 20 seconds, I would be most gracious and grateful. And glimglad, ahoy hoy. Okay. Just don't lose your head. Don't lose your bed. Oh, wow. 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 Oh, wow. That is so much what I needed. If there's one thing I needed to find, it was the place where a 1-up is. That's totally necessitation of the metastamation. Wow, that's what I needed. It's what I'm here for. I'm here for this. I'm here for you. I'm here for you, Abraham. I'm here for you. You've been indebted for far too long. I've come to collect what's rightfully mine, Abraham. And if you don't deliver, we will be back, and in greater numbers. So, Abraham, you best be on the lookout for there will be no rest for the wicked when I'm through with you. Anyway. Oh, are you? Oh, wow. That's a double hitter whammy. Wow. Nice sick clock, bro. Sick clock, bro. It's sick. It's diseased. It needs help. Just please get me away from you. Get me away from the business. Okay. Just try to work with the wacky momentum and the glitching character models. Ugh. I know World 8.1 now, so now it's like I gotta learn World 8.2, and that's gonna... I shook it like a shaken bacon. I dropped it on the floor. The controller. Now, okay. Okay. I'm an airplane. It's 36 minutes of just 2 levels. 36 minutes of 2 levels. Ain't that fun? I bet you want to see something more, but you only get 2 levels. It's all you see, it's all you know. Just 2 levels. Here comes the bit where I have to sprint off of the pipe. Let's see if I just end up in the pit. Beautiful. Ooh, I'm having a nervous breakdown. Don't get steamed. Don't get steamed. You don't want to get too steam press dried. There were 2 people here at the start. Now there's no one. I feel so sad and alone. Who am I doing this to prove to? I could get away with just, saying I did it. I could. You don't need to see World 8.3 or 4. Just show them the end screen. Look, I did it. I accomplished it. Thank you for coming to the stream. Someone pay my alimony. If I can just move past this part of my life, please. I just want to see past the boundaries of my own limitations and do something more than these levels. I'll be so glad when we get to the other games. Because you know what? I think I've touched upon this in the past, but I'll say it again for those who weren't listening before. I think my major complaint with Mario 1, right, as I adjust the mic, I think my major complaint with Super Mario Bros. 1 is that it's really repetitious. Like, it's not just a matter of, it's annoying. Though, sometimes it can be. It can be annoying. The momentum mechanic is weird, and, the difficulty curve is pretty high as opposed to later entries. It doesn't have the same kind of, magic and wonderment. It doesn't have the finesse. Let's go with that. It doesn't have the finesse of, say, like a Mario 3 or a Mario World. But, above all of that, underlying everything else, is the fact that it's, just really repetitious. There's only so long you can just see nothing but Koopas and Goombas and hear that one song play again and again and again, and see the same backdrop of clouds and trees and fences, and, just nothing ever changes. At least give the later entries credit. They at least knew, if we change the scenery, if we change the enemies, if we change the music, and if we have different power-ups, then like there'll be more here to do, and there's more inventiveness to see along the way. You know what I mean? Like there's only 3 or 4 kinds of levels in this game. 5. There's 5 kinds of levels in this game: a ground level, a tree level, an underwater level, an underground level, and a castle level. And that's it. And the music is always the same no matter where you go. There's 3 songs. There's ground theme, which Forza. Okay. Yeah, there's 4 songs. Ground theme, underground theme, Bowser Castle theme, underwater theme, and I believe that's it. And just or maybe I guess invincibility theme. But like there's so much here that like isn't changeable or whatever the word would be. But there's just it keeps on going. So it's not just a matter of, oh, like, I've been doing this a long, long time, right? That's not it. Because other games you do, like, the same thing for a long, long time. Like, for example, Zelda is a game where, like, it takes a long, long time to do things, right? And sometimes you end up doing the same thing again and again and again because of the puzzle aspect of it, right? But, like, there's, like, maybe that's a bad example. Okay, forget that example. I'm cutting that example out of the VOD. But there's just like, you compare this like Mario 3, right? Or like which is on the same console, right? Let's go with Mario 3. And there's just so much more variety of things to do. There's so much more to accomplish. It doesn't always feel like you're doing the same thing again and again and again. Like, it's one of those things, like, I'm doing the same level again and again and again for like 45 minutes now. 42 or however long it is on the VOD version. And it's just like, I'm really kind of sick of it. I'm one of those things where it's like, look, I want to see something else. I want to see something else or hear something else or do something else. I want to be doing really anything other than just the same thing again. Right, like that's what it basically all amounts to. Is this not just a matter of like he's been at this level. Like, yeah, that's one thing. But like, okay, so for example, I'll go here. I played Mario 64 recently, not on stream or recording, and I'll have to do that again. But like, there were bits of that game that I ended up doing again and again and again because I was, not fantastic at it. But, I'm good at that game, but I'm not fantastic at everything in the game, right? But underlying all of that was the fact that at least there's just so much to do and so many different ways to tackle things that it's not ever really a matter of, oh wow, I'm like having trouble with this game because it's hard. It's honestly, like, I can't put it any other way. It is straight up a matter of just I've been doing the same thing now for almost like 3/4 of an hour, again and again and again, and I'm really just tired of it. It's so repetitious. It's almost like purgatory. I mean, it's like, here, what is the definition of madness? It's doing the same thing again and again and again, and that is really what this is. It's just I'm constantly doing the same thing over and over and over without any like let up, without any moment of here's something different. It's just spend an hour doing the same level and fighting the same enemies. And even if you learn from this, even if you like learn from it, sometimes the mechanics will just throw you for a curveball and you aren't prepped for it, and it doesn't matter how much you know. Like, sometimes, like that. Like, I'm not trying to jump backwards, but then I will. And then I shoot the fire flower to try to take out the, and then that'll happen. Like, and like the hitbox is kind of weird because it's so, like, directional and precise. It's like, you need precision. But even this, like, for as good as a game as this is, okay, this is a great game. It's fantastic. Everyone loves this game. Oh, holy moly, 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 mow. Everyone loves this game. It's the greatest game ever made. It's the game that saved games. Games wouldn't be games without this game. What are games? It's this game. Like, yeah, okay, great, fantastic, fantabuloso, magnificoso. But you know what? It's really, it's like running around in a circle and going, why isn't this different? Why is this always the same? You know, you're running around in a circle. Please tell me that. Okay. I need to find somewhere not to peek the mic. Okay. What was that noise? Oh. That was bad. That was just negativity incarnate. Ugh. Not having a blast. Ugh. And I'm trying my darndest, folks. I'm trying so bloody hard not to cheat the system, not to just do a save state from World 8-2 and play this level again and again and again. I'm trying so desperately hard not to do that, because that seems unfair. Yes, I'm using save states, but I'm only using save states for things that I can do in the game. I'm doing it for the continue code, which is... I need to collect myself for a couple seconds here. So just give me a moment. I'm gonna do a run where I don't talk. If I get further in the run without talking, then I'm gonna start save stating at the end of each of these levels. If I die in the same exact places as where I die when I am talking, then I will leave it be. Alright, never mind. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. I could talk and I could say nothing, and I'd be exactly the same at this game. My skill level would not change in the slightest. So forget it. We're just gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep going because we're finishing it. I'm not kidding around with you, okay? This could be the longest stream I've ever done. We will be here until I'm done. That is what's happening. Nothing else matters. We are gonna be here until I'm done. So strap yourselves in, kids, because we are not leaving this spot until I am finished with this game. That is what's happening. And I don't care if, like, you know, other people want to... I don't care. I don't even care. I would like maybe to talk to a friend while I do this and not feel like I'm stuck in a room with no one. But, you know, I don't know who I would contact. I don't know who I would call. So let's just move on and go, hey, so this is what's happening. He's doing this for the rest of the evening. If this is an all-nighter, it's a all-nighter. What can I tell you? That's just what it's gonna be, and that's how it's gonna play itself out. I'm so tempted. You don't know how tempted I am to just save state here at 8-2. There it goes. There went my temptation. Because I could have started this with a fire flower and all lives and would have been happy. But I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm being the brave nobleman who does not cheat his way to being done with the game that he just wants to be done with. I'm not doing it, okay? So we're just not doing that. We're just going to sit here and try to watch me do this as legitimately as possible. We're not, we're save stating only for the continue code. That's all we're doing, right? That's all we're doing. We're doing nothing else but just continuing in the same way the game is programmed to let you continue. That's all we're doing, okay? So there you go. That's how it's gonna be. That's how we're gonna make this work. It's how it's operating. That's how it is. Now, this fucking jump. This goddamn jump that needs to be done so precisely, and I don't fucking know how to do that without immediately landing in the fucking pit. I don't fucking know how to fucking do it. I don't know. And I'm swearing now, and I'm gonna have to bleep that when this goes out on the channel. Fuck you. And I'm just... Ooh, I'm mad. I'm mad now. And we're just doing it. We're just gonna be here till this is done. And I don't know when it's gonna be. I don't know when it's gonna be. It's 4 levels. It's 4 fucking levels. 8-1, 8-2, 8-3, 8-4. That's all we're fucking doing. So just strap in. We're gonna be here a long, long time. Okay? Because we're now an hour in, and we haven't even seen World 8-3 yet. And I've never beaten like World 8-4 ever, so because that is a fucking labyrinth. So like just strap in, okay? Because we're going nowhere ever. We are not leaving this spot until I am done with this damn game. Fuck. Just I have things to talk about, but they're all personal, and you haven't earned the privilege to hear them, so you don't get to hear about them, but they're in my head of the people who I'd like to talk to, but I'm not telling you who they are. I'm not telling you, because you haven't earned that privilege. Ha ha ha. You think that everything is your right because you watch me on the internet and you think, oh, like, I know everything about him? Or no, or I deserve to know everything about him? You don't. There's some things I don't reveal on the internet. I know. It's shocking ideology. Let's just try to be done with this. Yippee-I-O. I-de-ho. Alright. Part of me wants to play music, but, you know, this is also being recorded for YouTube. And I don't need the channel getting copyrighted, so. I'm so frustrated right now. I'm so frustrated. It's just has been going on like this for a million years, and it never stops. It never ceases. So just come on along for the ride. Let's go! Let's go! Wahoo! Oh! I will ravage your fields and burn your crops to the ground. Just why am I doing that? That's dumb. That's dumb moves. Just sprint. You have the ability to do that. Sprint over it. Hee 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 hee. Ho 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 ho. It's laughter. It's laughter. Ahoy hoy. Alright, come on. Just please. I want to be done with this. It's been nothing but those 2 levels for an hour. I want to at least see World 8-3. At least see that. We're still going until this is done. But I want to at least see World 8-3. Whoa. Fancy dancing. Okay, come on. That's perfect. That's genius. How did you get so graceful? How did you get so graceful on the court? That's what I want to know. That's what I really, really want to know. Why do it's like I can't just be done. They aren't important to kill. I don't care about my score. I don't care about the score counter. I just need to get to the end of the level. You did it. Great. Now move on. That 1 is still up. Who cares? Doesn't matter. As long as you don't waste time trying to be a precise Priscilla, then just move on. Come on, come on, come on. Alright, ho 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 hee haw. No. If I could just be done with this, it would fill my life up with joy and happiness. If I could move on from this one zone, it would be the best. But alas, that's not what's happening, so I'm trapped. Oof. I thread the needle close, and that's what became of me. Balalaka shoo-ba-doo-be-dow. Okay, just go away. Just go away. Alright, not you, audience member. Now, if I could please. Oh my lord. Okay. Not. Okay. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You have no comprehension of how badly I want to do it, but I am not doing it. Just die in there. No, 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 no! I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing it. You don't get the pleasure. And I don't get the pleasure either. We all don't get pleasured tonight. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna do it live. That's what we're doing. We're doing this live from New York. It's Jacob's Mental Breakdown. Alright. It's the best Saturday Night Live episode ever made since the 70s. Oh, okay. Now, no. Okay. Let's just, let's see. What was that? 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 What happened? Oh my god, what happened there? What happened there? I don't want to... don't want to do it. I don't want to save state here. Because I think if I do, then the victory is going to feel hollow. But at the same time, like, it's been an hour and we haven't moved past this level. And I know, because this is the thing. That is the jump that always trips me up, is this one right here. It always does, without fail. And I don't know... Don't die! Don't die! Whatever you do, Whitmer, don't die! Don't die! Don't die! Anything but death. If you die, you will have upset your family and your pride and your village. Oh! Okay. Holy shit, I have one life. I have one life to get through the second half of this world. Holy shit. Oh my god. And there's so many goddamn Hammer Bros here too. I know it. I know it. Just do your thing. Do your dance. Oh, please. Give me. Oh, fuck. Wow, fuck. Oh, my god. Okay, he had it for his moment in time, and then he gave it up. Them's the breaks. Them's the takes. Hot takes. McGee and Magoo. I'm calling on you. Oh, fuck. Okay, come on. Just, don't even try to be family friendly anymore. Just be you. If you swear, you swear. Just, is there anything here for me, please? Okay, no. Alright, and now they're gonna be on the ground. Oh, I don't know how. Don't question it. Don't question it. Okay. That was your fault. And we're back. We're back to this. We're back to this. Fantabuloso. And I saw it. I saw the little bit of screen tear that showed that there was a hidden block there, which is either a mushroom or an extra life. I don't remember which one, but I know that that's the signal that that level was almost over. But we weren't going to defeat Bowser anyway, because I don't know 8-4 well enough to beat it, and that was going to cost me some lives, and that's just how it is. But we got closer. And that is what matters. The stream is not over. The stream is not over in the slightest. But I do need to take a slight break. I just need to take a quick break. So, what we're going to do I'm going to give you an exclusive right here, because I don't think it's out on YouTube yet. At least to my knowledge, it's not out on YouTube yet. But I'm going to give you an exclusive premiere right now, so I can go and recharge my batteries for a little bit. I'm going to give you an exclusive premiere of the next episode of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. You're going to get this exclusive little premiere of this episode. And then when that's done, then I'm going to go back into playing this game. But for right now, I need to just collect myself. It's been an hour. and I'm quite frustrated. I need some air. So that's what we're going to do. Okay? Hopefully I can do this correctly. But we're just gonna... Alright. Okay. Alright. So this is gonna be an exclusive premiere of the next episode of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I'm going to quickly update this so we don't get in trouble with Twitch. Because I think if I don't update the game description while this plays, then they're going to get really mad at me. So